Warning, this podcast contains 2 Jim Gordons.
What?
What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Unseen on TV podcast for Gotham, Season 2, Episode 21, A Legion of Horribles. I'm your host, Dom, and with me is John.
Hello.
How's it going?
Pretty good. You know, the title made me think of what our friend Rob always says about there's a Game of Thrones episode where Melisandre, births this horrible monster, and he always calls it when she birthed the horrible. So, I could not think of that when I heard this episode's title the other day. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so many good things happen. I don't know where we should start. But I'm just gonna start with the Court of Owls because I think we've personally been kind of expecting this for, I don't know, a couple episodes now, more than a couple episodes.
You more than me. You've been saying this since like almost the beginning of this podcast. It's like they're gonna get to the Court of Owls. It's gonna be.
There's too many owls like hidden around and all kinds of like statues and pictures and window placements and everything that made like I mentioned it in Penguin's father's house. The owls, though, the way the eyes lined up with the bathtub and everything made it look like an owl, and it's just like there's just been way too many of them that has like they're kind of pointing at this. There's owls coming.
Oh yeah, and we finally got to see them.
Yeah,
and I have to say, well done, because you got to think like who could feasibly be bossing around Hugo Strange? I mean, it has to be the Court of Owls. Like, who else would be powerful enough to scare him?
Right.
But very ominous, I think, as to what could come of this.
Right.
This whole thing.
Now, would you like to give people a little background into the Court of Owls?
I could, yeah. So in the New 52 line of Batman, the first series is the Court of Owls. It's like a 2-volume set. Technically 3 if you go into the side stories of the other Bat family characters, but 2 main stories. Mm-hmm. But the interesting thing is that the show is lining up with this shockingly closely. So the first thing is that they're looking for immortality, basically. Mm-hmm. They basically flat out told Hugo Strange, you haven't been able to bring someone back with their memories and mind intact. And he goes, yes, actually I have. Now, this completely parallels the freaking comics, because that's what they do with the owls through the ages.
Right.
They keep them, and they resurrect them whenever they're needed. Like, these people technically can't die unless they're frozen. So it's very interesting also that they're using Mr. Freeze's technology to give these people eternal life. It's like so many little things here. So like the owls could be, they call them the Talons. The Talons could be what they're working on right now. And the other thing is that Bruce found out about them when he was a kid in the story. And he tried to investigate them when he was a young boy. Got very close, but ultimately failed. He couldn't find them. So I think it's also very cool that Bruce could feasibly find out about them as a young boy and maybe go after them. And, probably he's going to fail because of his inexperience.
Well, he may not fail, so to speak. He may thwart them and stop them, but they'll be back kind of thing,
Sure, yeah. I think in the comic, like, they kind of just sort of eluded his grasp. He didn't, ruin anything. It's just like he just sort of missed them.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm very excited to see like if they're really gonna stay close to the story.
Now, do we have any information about their identity? Are they like wealthy people in Gotham? Like,
yeah, they're generally people of great power and influence.
So it's possible they may be people in the GCPD. They may be people on government issued things and.
Right.
Courts and actual courts, not just the Court of Owls, but
And if they don't have a member who's part of it, they have a hand in it. I mean, they control everything. If a newspaper gets sold in Gotham, they know about it. Like, that's how pervasive their control is.
Right. So that's going to make things really interesting, especially now with Hugo Strange, and they're ready to shut him down. Apparently, they're his backer and everything. So it's not just that they're using him to try to come up with this immortality serum. They're fully backing him in all his research. They're demanding he moves things. Like they're telling him everything. We thought Hugo kind of had some say around there. He doesn't. I mean, he's doing some stuff without them knowing, so to speak. But I'm sure. I almost feel like Mrs. Peacock. What's her name? Peabody. Mrs. Peabody might be in league with them.
She might be informing them. Who knows? Yeah, they could be using her as like a watchdog.
Yeah. So, because chances are, if they're using Hugo, they're not letting him run wild. They're gonna keep an eye on him somehow.
Yeah.
So, that's why I say that. And since he just did it that day, that's why. What do you mean you just brought somebody back with their memories? No, you didn't.
Yeah.
So it just happened. So she probably didn't have time to inform them.
Right.
I don't know. That's my guess. But and with that just happening, of course it had to be Fish Mooney.
Yep.
And to me, I'm more disappointed that she was dead this whole time than anything.
It would have been so cool if she would have been here, right? Like,
well, not necessarily been there, but like been in hiding, like gaining power, gaining, like all this stuff behind the scenes, like coming back for her revenge, like she's been building up an army or something this whole time.
Okay, yeah.
Because just that she got shot and fell into the water,
she didn't have to be dead.
That's her ending? Yeah, like I feel like she could have swam away.
Right.
Not because she's a fish, but
see, I feel like they're gonna go with that kind of plot line with like Falcone or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's kind of bouncing in and out of the scene a little bit. So right. I get the feeling he's going to be pulling that kind of nonsense.
Yeah, it's a strong possibility. So do you think the power that like the what brought her back was more so the lightning that they basically jolted into her brain, or was it the cuttlefish?
I'm going to guess the lightning.
Yeah?
I guess. I mean... Because what the hell's I was like, why cuttlefish?
Well, they mentioned cuttlefish had regenerative properties.
Yeah.
So if it had regenerative properties and you're pairing that with the brain, it's repairing brain cells, basically.
Right. I mean, I get that. It could have... I mean, that's the thing is Doctor Strange doesn't even know, so he's going to have to play with the numbers, I suppose, and try to find out, because... It seems like that was a very unstable resurrection to begin with.
Yeah, so. And it's like you want to put a lightning bolt in her brain? He's like, what's it gonna do? Kill her? So she's already dead. So experiment. That's the whole point of this.
Right.
But she wakes up and she's just kind of stunned. She doesn't know where she is. She's like, "Am I on an island?"
Yeah, I don't want to be there.
And Strange is just like, so you are a Roman war goddess known as Andraste. And she's like, no, I'm Fish Mooney, bitch. And I was like, okay then. Well, okay, I will applaud you. Yep. So I'm very, very happy that she, of all people, is the one that retained her memory.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm still hoping for Jerome. I really, really want Jerome back. So
he could be scrambled. It's cool.
Mm-hmm. Do you think we're gonna see Jerome in the finale?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
We need to.
I think so.
I think that's gonna be the cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm. Like what's he gonna be when he wakes up, kind of thing.
I just want to see him wake up and do his laugh and have the screen go black.
Oh yeah.
That would be the most epic finale for me.
Mm-hmm.
But for Fish, it seems like she's gained some special Aquaman powers here.
She can communicate with only small sea fish. Yes.
No, but anyone she touches. It appears anyway, and she has persuasive powers over people she touches.
Which she kind of already had.
Yeah, but now it's
But
literal.
now it's more literal, yes.
There's no choice involved. There's no illusion of free will.
No. No. God, no.
There is just make me a grilled cheese sandwich and bring it here. And she gets it. And they don't know why. At least they knew why before. They don't know why now.
Why did you do that? I don't know. Because you told me to.
And then she's like, well, hold on, wait. And he just continues to walk. So it's clearly, I mean, we saw a little jolt when she touched him in the first place. So it's got to be contact.
Yeah.
But
I mean, what an appropriate power for her to have.
Oh, I know. It's phenomenal. How do you think this is going to play into the finale here?
I mean, for one thing, she can waltz right out of that place if she wants to. That's for sure.
And I'm wondering if it's like Jedi, where it only works on like the weak-minded, or is she going to be able to boss Hugo Strange around if she gets close enough?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it might even have like diminishing returns or something like that. Or we don't know like how Kilgrave she can get, I guess.
Yeah. Exactly. Fucking Kilgrave, man. Yeah, I don't know. It's absolutely insane. We see, a little more of Selena dealing with Firefly in the basement. And
poor kid.
I know, there wasn't a whole lot of Selena this episode, but I think what we saw of it was fantastic.
Yes.
And she's just like, oh, you're the goddess of fire? Well, goddesses need servants.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor just forgot to tell you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't be a goddess without a servant. And she's like, yeah, that makes sense. So Selena dodged another bullet.
Well, a jet of flame in this case.
Yeah, that's true. Watching her play like laser tag with the fire and stuff at the beginning was incredible. I loved it.
That was really cool.
She probably could have just sat up there on that light like all day long.
I mean,
Firefly never would have
I don't know why she did.
Yeah, but at least she broke through to her.
A little.
Yeah, we'll see how far this goes, and because we've seen Galavan, how he kind of got his memories back for a bit, and it's only a matter of time before the partial memories start flooding in. Like she started remembering a few things. She remembered killing her brothers and things like that, but it wasn't enough to overpower her.
Right. I mean, I think it's weird because so far we've seen like a familiar face will introduce these old memories, and they'll kind of get scrambled into their new personality.
Mm-hmm.
So like maybe with enough time, like you said, she'll like start to get more and more like her old self. But for right now, it doesn't really do much. It just, for all intents and purposes, pisses them off and makes them even more crazy.
Yeah.
Because they get more confused.
Yeah. I mean, but you can't blame him for trying, because that's going to be the natural thing to do, is be like, hey,
of course.
Remember me? Remember this? Like,
And we got a little bit of backstory.
Yeah.
Like, she said, you took me in when my mom left. So now we know that, Selena's mom didn't join the circus as a secret agent. We finally have confirmation that was a lie.
I mean, she could have still.
But that she was abandoned.
Yeah.
And Bridget saved her.
Yep, and then tried to kill her.
Uh-huh. A little.
Meanwhile, while all this is going on, though, Bruce feels really bad for sending Selena in there. Alfred kind of flips out, and Bruce concocts his plan with Lucius and Gordon to go break into Arkham and, kind of scout around. And, Bruce goes in, talks to Hugo directly, and Hugo all but admitted that he murdered Thomas and Martha.
Right. And then kind of said, like, your father did this, really. He said he knew what he was doing. Like, he knew his life was at risk. So.
Yeah. I had this awful, awful feeling this episode, and I want your opinion on this, John.
Yeah.
What are the chances that Hugo Strange has Thomas and Martha's corpses?
Uh,
And I don't mean like freshly dug up. I mean has had them this whole
like has
time
had them this whole
in
time.
water. You know, like in the liquid to keep them preserved, kind of thing.
I all right. I don't think he does, but I bet the court might.
They might.
That would be the ultimate fu. Like if this show goes on and leads into a Batman series, and like Batman's fighting the Talons, and two of them are his parents.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty messed up. But
Yeah.
like, I did have that thought
You
that
had
like
it as well.
I did have that thought of like, oh, he can bring people back. What if he brought back? What if he's like, I can bring back your parents if you stop?
Yeah, I
You
was
know?
just like, I'm thinking to myself, and it was when he mentioned, and he goes, you know what? In like a turn of events or whatever, I actually kind of miss Thomas. And I was like, oh no, no, no.
Yeah.
You know,
And
and
Bruce even said
all these people that he's been working on, maybe that's his end game.
is to bring them back, but I see. I feel like he wouldn't want to bring them back intact. You
No,
know, he'd want to
but
scramble
enough
them
to
up.
remember who they are, but with some alterations.
Yeah, yeah, because he couldn't just bring back Thomas Wayne. He'd be like, "What are you fucking stupid?" and knock him out. I mean,
Mm,
I can't imagine that happening. But it was also that Bruce said, "I would give anything to have them back." You
right.
know, so what if that's like a bargaining chip because they're like, "Hey, you said, so if you tell me blah blah blah, maybe I'll think about giving you back your mom or something
Yeah,
like that."
and I mean that could be big. That could be bigger than Jerome for me. You know, at the end of the episode, laughing is just see Thomas and Martha like waking up or something.
That would be so scary.
Yeah, going that would. Oh my god, that would. I think that's the best season 2 ending for me. Best possible case. We'll see. Like I build up like all these expectations for finales, and there's been about 3 or 4 shows now that I've seen the finale for this season, and at least 2 of them fell flat for me because I built up what they could be so big in my head. So,
Yeah.
but meanwhile, while Bruce is having this conversation with Hugo, you know, you have Lucius running around with a fake air detector thing that's really measuring electronic, activity,
Yeah.
and then he's marking walls and stuff, and Jim's going in and fixing it. But when Jim got in and he got in with the expired ID and all that, I was like, they know he's in there.
Hmm.
So when Bruce stopped being cooperative and decided he wasn't going to back off, that's when he's like, get him. And I was like, he knew this whole fucking time, and he locks up Jim, he locks up Bruce and Lucius, and basically puts Lucius and Bruce in a gas chamber.
Yeah.
With Nigma in charge of the button.
Which is great. Oh boy. Well, at least he's useful to Hugo, so he found his little niche.
But Fox recognized them,
Yes, he did.
so that's gonna be problematic for Nigma,
I hope Lucius can outsmart him.
of course. It's like I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do to get out of this one other than him not pushing the button. It's not like they can. They don't have any tools and stuff on them, so they could like start reverse pumping the gas into
Right.
I don't know what they're gonna do.
No one's got a utility belt yet, so
No.
I mean, the one saving grace that I could see is I think that they told Harvey to come in an hour if they weren't back or they didn't hear
Right.
from, they weren't heard from. So maybe he'll save them.
Maybe they have like 2 minutes left before the gas is gonna be pushed, so Harvey better hurry up.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Hmm. But Jim comes face to face with Clayface,
Yeah.
or face to face with himself. You called Clayface, John.
I did.
So
I did.
what do you think now that we've seen him?
I think I like that they went in kind of a different direction with him. That he's not just like a moving lump of clay.
Mm-hmm.
He's like a stretchy faced weirdo. Maybe he'll develop into like a ball of gross clay stuff, but we'll see. But I kind of like that he needs like tools to assist his powers at this point. Like he's
Right.
obviously not developed them like we know of him in like the animated series and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think it's going to be really cool because I mean we have Clayface. He now this is the thing. Every time we see a character, we have to go: is it Clayface or is it really blah blah blah? For the rest of the show, for the rest of our lives, unless we know who Clayface is emulating, now we have to consider Clayface all the time.
Well, not quite yet,
Not no
because
no. You're right. You're right.
because as you said, he needs the tools to assist him. So it's not like he could just like walk in and out and just be somebody else.
Right.
So
No,
we're
you're
not quite at that point yet, but it's getting there.
yeah. And I was just like, fuck, this is gonna make the podcast so hard.
Yeah, because as soon as somebody does something, we're just gonna be like, "Well, that was Clayface,"
That was Clayface. I
and
couldn't
we'll
have been.
continue to spat out that this is Clayface, for seasons upon seasons, and it's gonna be season 5, and we're still gonna be like, "Hey, Bruce Wayne is Clayface,"
It's Clayface, and
and
and really, he's just been like a fucking Arby's worker this entire time, just biding his time. Like you
and
know,
like as it is right now, it's kind of like hair obviously has to be put on.
right,
He can't
right.
do anything with that. We don't know if because it's just the face at this point, hence Clayface. But we don't know if he could change body size and any of that. So gender, we don't know if he could change gender yet. Anything like that because the mask was only put on the face. That's as far as we
Right.
got. I'm sure they're gonna adjust things later to make other things possible. As it stands right
Yeah,
now, it's probably got to be somebody about Jim's height and weight.
build. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, still interesting. Leaves a lot of potential, and I feel like the only way they're going to stop him is to horribly disfigure him and turn him into the Clayface that we actually know. Have him retreat until we forget about him, and he's actually been Bullock the whole time or something,
Shh. Just shoot me now.
Because Bullock's playing a GCPD captain.
Yeah, a role in which he seems to be becoming more comfortable. I guess a
I don't know
little
if he's
bit.
coming comfortable with it because he's like going into the office and flipping out over paperwork. But he's more stressed than he was before. But he's still a good person for the job.
Yeah, and he's being responsible about it. He's kind of grown a bit.
And they're asking like how long are you gonna stay active captain? And he's like literally until anybody else wants the job. So
I love that.
I'm like Gordon.
Hey,
Gordon, come back. I think Gordon will be back. At the end of next episode for the finale. I think he'll go back to GCPD.
probably,
So
probably. And Cleo says that Bullock is the best captain.
I
I agree.
would I would love for
I
Bullock to
agree.
stay captain for
Uh huh.
for extended period of time. Like bringing Gordon back into the force does not mean Gordon has to become captain. Um, I
Certainly
but
not.
I would love Bullock to remain captain for quite some time.
He's so happy. He's so
Especially
happy.
with the way him and Jim work. Like Jim's gonna be able to get away with a lot more of his shenanigans with
Yeah,
Bullock, and until he can't, and that'll be a nice conflict. Is pitting the two of them kind of against each other for moral reasons and
sure.
and legal reasons, and it could be interesting. So I'm hoping that's the direction they go with that.
That would be a very interesting season 3 plotline. You're
Mm-hmm.
welcome,
So
writers.
I guess this is the time where we make our finale predictions.
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. Well,
Clayface disfigured. I think that has to happen.
that could happen. That yeah,
If it
because
if it doesn't happen, then Clayface will take over somebody's place. Like if it's Gordon, he will pretend to be Gordon through a good chunk of next season.
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that's what they're gonna go with. Is he's gonna like be there's gonna be a fake Gordon running around where he's just ruining his reputation even more than it already is ruined.
Right.
So who knows?
And then
I'd like
they could explain it off as all those horrible things that Gordon's done this whole time has been Clayface. The
Clayface.
Galavan incident, everything. They could just pin on Clayface.
Gordon's like sick, reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
You know, um, I would like to see the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying, I'd like to see that, and I'd also, uh,
We
I'd
know
like.
we know there's going to be heavy involvement for the Court of Owls.
That's what I'm thinking. That was my other thing was like I hope Bruce gets like to brush up with the Court of Owls in some way.
Yeah. Fish Mooney's definitely going to be in the next episode. She was signed on for 2 episodes, and sure enough, it's the final 2. Do you see Jada Pinkett Smith carrying over to season 3, or are they going to kill her off again? What do you think?
I feel like they have to because I mean, she said in an interview that she was very excited to come back.
Mm.
So I doubt they would take it away from her so soon because Jada was like oh my god, like Fish is one of her favorite characters to play, and she was so excited. Like she didn't think she was coming back so soon, and she was really excited. So I don't see them doing that to her just as like a person. So
Yeah.
I'm sure she might even. I'm thinking she might even help our good guys escape.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's go
from
touch
some articles that I was reading, she's very excited about the new direction of the character while maintaining, a lot of the aspects of her old personality.
Right.
And she likes the costume for Fish 2.0, and, it's just a lot of really cool stuff she was mentioning. I feel like they're going to do, like, one of those things where she disappears again, so... Because it all comes down to contract and money and whatnot at this point, so it's too early to say.
Right.
Because shows like that are more willing to pay big bucks for big stars in their first season to make sure they get the ratings and establish themselves and get their foot off the ground. Then they're gonna try to like go in with a smaller budget and everything, and then everybody knows as shows go on, viewership drops.
Sure.
It's just the way things go. So maybe get her in to try to get ratings back up. If these last 2 episodes the ratings skyrocketed for her, they may look to renegotiate her contract. If it didn't do anything, they may be like, it's not worth bringing her in for our budget. And
She might just be like a guest star.
Yeah. So I don't think they're gonna kill her off, but it's too soon to say if they're gonna make her a full-time character or not for the next season.
Right.
What about
Penguin?
yeah, I mean, we haven't seen Penguin, or Butch this episode. They referred to Galavan being blasted into...
What did they say?
I don't remember.
Smithereens or something like that.
Yeah.
So can you confirm that Galavan was this real? You want to go scrape him up? I mean.
Mm-hmm. So,
yeah,
there's that. Penguin should be a big role. I mean, there's no way. And I think
Fish is back.
Yeah, I think Fish, Butch, Penguin, and even Tigress is going to play a big role into the finale and have this kind of like Butch love square going on. Because you're going to have Butch and Fish, and you're going to have Butch and Tigress, and you're going to have Butch and Penguin, Yeah, I mean, his loyalties are scattered all over the place now. Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yep. So that'll be interesting. Seeing how Bruce and at least Lucius get out of there. Jim doesn't have to get out. Meat Paste is
Meat Paste. Yes, that was very tactful.
Firefly. I'm hoping we get something big from Firefly. It seems to me that there's so many characters that they built up, so many villains and everything. This whole season has been, rise of the villains and, return. What's the second half called?
Wrath of the Villains.
Wrath of the Villains.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, we haven't seen Mr. Freeze in a couple episodes now.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, obviously the court told him he's going to have to transfer them to a new facility, so maybe we're just going to catch them all being... Who knows what havoc they'll wreak during transfer, you know?
That's true, too. And new facility, where is this located?
could be. I don't know. I
Is it
that I
is
have
it
no idea.
under is it under Blackgate?
Oh,
I mean, those are the two big prisons that we know of, Arkham and Blackgate. So,
but Arkham is a beautiful mental health facility for recovery.
uh huh. And
That's what the
Blackgate is a
pamphlet says.
very very secure prison.
And spa.
So I'm just hoping that they find a way to make all these villains work together without kind of pushing any off, because we can't
But yeah,
not have a lot of Fish Mooney time,
absolutely.
right? They built up Firefly these last couple episodes, so we can't not see Firefly. Clayface, we don't necessarily have to see because we're going to be seeing Jim, but that's the same thing. And then, I don't know, like, I'm going to feel cheated if we don't get the Joker back this season.
Yeah.
So,
I hope that doesn't disappoint us.
there's kind of a lot of big expectations for these villains, and I'm hoping they find a nice balance to make it all work together.
Please.
So,
Let's see.
any final things before I read the synopsis?
Please let everybody be okay.
Yeah. Next week, the finale is called Transference. While Gordon, Bruce, and Lucius remain in Indian Hill, the city of Gotham will be met with a new threat as Hugo Strange's inmates devise a plan to escape and start their new lives.
Oh, shit.
So,
they're all getting out.
Yeah, Enigma's gonna break everybody out. That's basically what that comes to.
Oh, it's gonna be good.
These inmates have never devised a plan to escape before, and Enigma did say this whole place is just a big puzzle.
Maybe he'll solve it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's interesting that they called it transference, because transference is actually like a psychological term for when like the client places their their emotions from like towards another person onto the therapist.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, I believe that will be rage towards Hugo.
Yeah. That's gonna be interesting. Do you think Hugo's gonna be defeated this season or killed or anything?
Nah.
You think we're gonna get more of him?
Absolutely. I mean, the court really can't get what they want without him.
That's true. I mean, unless his serum is finished.
Right. I don't see him going anywhere. Like, he may have to go into hiding.
Right.
I could absolutely see that happening, but no, I think he's going to be around for a long time because at least in the show and comics, he's around when Batman's around. So, and he's one of the few villains who actually knows who he is.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I really, and I love the way that I would say BD Wong is portraying him. I think he's absolutely perfect.
It's phenomenal. I mean, he doesn't have a whole lot on his plate right now. He hasn't done anything that's been put out yet since Jurassic World. He's got a movie that's currently filming called The Space Between Us. We don't know his role in that. And as for TV shows goes on, he's only doing Gotham right now. So he doesn't have a lot on his plate. We do know that he's going to be heavily involved in the next Jurassic World sequel.
Right.
But that hasn't started filming yet. And depending on when that starts filming, is when I see him being unavailable. So
sure,
the sequel is scheduled for June 22nd of 2018.
So
they could probably still squeeze another season out of him.
Yeah,
or at least a half season.
Yeah, because I don't think they'd be filming till like next year, right?
They will. They start if it comes out in the fall, so they would. Well, for Jurassic World, yeah, they wouldn't start shooting till next year. But for Gotham, they would start, as early as June. I'd say June, July. They'd start looking into filming and stuff. Maybe even not that. Probably, I'd say maybe even August is probably the earliest when they would start looking to film the next season of Gotham. So, but yeah, really excited. Can't wait. And at the same time, I'm really sad.
that it's
because this season
ending.
has been so good. And
Yeah,
after the first season where, I really enjoyed the first season, but I had a lot of gripes with it. And I've
sure.
kind of let everything go, and I've just nonstop enjoyed at this point. And it's no longer, I don't like this, I don't like that. It's just, I can't wait to see what happens next. And I think
Yeah,
that's a really good feeling to be in going into this show. So,
absolutely. Absolutely.
yep. All right, well, John, where can the people find you?
You can find me biting my nails at No More on Twitter.
I hope I can actually find that thing.
See.
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. You can find us all and more on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, MySpace, and right here on YouTube at /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, games, and movies. Until next week, see you guys for the finale.
Oh boy.
I'm really nervous.
I think we all should be.